Hi everyone, how are you? This is going to be a fun video. You know, I've done a lot of business plan videos, but I've never done one, what is a business plan? So in this video, I'm really going to cover what is a business plan. And by the way, I made business plan mobile apps, which I think by now it's something like 300,000 downloads. So quite a few people are using these, and they provide like a template, and they have some tutorials for how to write each section of the business plan. But let's kind of take a step back and discuss just for a little bit why people write business plans. People come to me and they come to the apps and they kind of want to make a business plan because really they aren't certain where to start the business, you know, like, and so they're thinking to make a business plan. And of course, business planning is really great, because if you can have a great plan, if you can sort of plan out how you will create this product and how you will market it and how you will make money from it, that's all great. And in fact, you should have that before you start your business. But a lot of people sort of almost want like a document rather than a plan. They think that if they have something there, then, you know, it will help them along. But the truth is that you really just need to have a really solid plan, and once you do, you gotta be ready to start executing, because the plan is no good if you're not gonna start executing. So part of the plan must be a really clear path to how to start. And by the way, once you start, you're not gonna be like updating your business plan all the time, right? The business plan is more like a general guide, you know, in your direction. But I mean, every business owner will tell you things change in business. I mean, when you start, there are a lot of assumptions. Even though you try to get rid of assumptions, you will surprise yourself how many assumptions there were that you thought you got rid of, but they're still remaining there. So there are a lot of assumptions, and there are a lot of uncertainties. No matter how savvy you are, there are still things you encounter, because you know you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with employees, you're dealing with the real world, like competition. It's a moving animal. It's like a living, breathing animal. This whole thing, and so you'll have to quickly shift. And so the business plan really won't help you in that day-to-day, but it will help you in that greater understanding of what's really going on. And once you write it, it will change in your mind. The paper that you'll write, I mean, it will stay probably as you wrote it, but that conception of your business will evolve much faster than you can be updating your business plan. So the business plan is kind of really the guide for you. And there are three, you know, people make it complicated. There are three really important sections of a business plan, and then everything else you can figure out later. So let's just talk about what are the three, like, really three great sections that if they work well together, then you have something, okay? So just to make it simple. And it does not have to be complicated. So the first section of the business plan is your product. I mean, what your company does, right? Does it provide a service? Does it make a product? How does it help? How does this product help people? You have to certainly have an idea of that, because no product, no business, right? So product, you have to have a product, and it must be really up to you to be able to create that product to a high degree of quality, or a high enough degree of quality to be competitive in your marketplace. But let's just say to a high degree of quality. Okay, so you got the product, right? What's next? Well, you got to sell the product. So you get your sales and marketing. That's going to be your other part of the business plan. And by the way, your sales and marketing strategy is not post on Facebook, post on Twitter, create business cards and flyers. It's much more savvy, and it's much more specific to what is the product, right? Because different products are promoted in very different ways, and almost never on Facebook, okay? I know a lot of you guys, I know how you plan your marketing sections. I helped a lot of people, and Facebook's always a part of it, of your guys' plans, but it's never a part of a really good, great plan. So I do encourage you to really look deep at your marketing, because your marketing and sales, I mean, no marketing, no sales, no business, right? I mean, you'll have a product, but it will be on the shelves. So product, the second section is marketing, and the third section is the finances. because all of this stuff has to happen, creating the product, building a team, what it takes you to market it and sell it, all that has to happen within a financial picture that makes sense, right? If you don't have a lot of money, you gotta change the strategy here, right? In your how do you create the product, how you promote it. If you have more money, well, you can use maybe put more resources into production, more resources into marketing, but also make sure if you have more money, money is not limitless, right? So don't waste it just because you have it. But it's okay. Most entrepreneurs don't have it. So, but it all. What can happen is that if you do have a little bit of money, you can do product and marketing at a little bit of a loss, right? You can take a loss to create your product and grow, and then once you've grown your customer base, then profitability might happen. So a little bit of money can afford you a loss and an operating loss in the beginning. But if you have no money, if you have no loan or no investment, then you can't operate at a loss. Which most small businesses in the first year they operate at a loss because it's so hard to build up that business. So you need to put a little bit of money up front. But the entrepreneurs mostly don't have money, so there's going to be some strategy here, right? How do you do this without money? And the answer is not waiting for money. The answer is you got to use your resourcefulness. And again, it's very particular to your business. It's not really about cutting corners, but it is about how resourceful you can be, how to get things cheap, where, and so it's really like an everyday kind of thing where it's gonna be a lot up to you. And I see a lot of people on my apps and they're like, how do I start a business with no money? Oh, I don't have money, so I don't start. That's not the right way to go. Be resourceful. Okay, be resourceful, and this is really where planning comes in. And if you're not able to plan the stuff, because to really plan the stuff well, you do need a degree. You need experience and savvy and stuff like that. Get mentors, get advisors, get help from people who have done it before, because they'll be able to steer you away from mistakes and onto strategies that work. So to those three sections, right? Product, marketing, finances, those are the most important parts of the business plan. Other parts of the business plan, like your team, yeah, you have to have a great team with experience and blah, 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 right? Of course, another important section of the marketing of the business plan is the target market. In this tutorial, I kind of added it to that original, to that first sort of part where the product, so because the product has to cater to the target market, to the target sort of consumer, but generally it's its own section, the target market. And the target market is immensely important because the target market is your target consumer. Who are you selling to? You gotta explore their demographics, age, sex, education level, income, location, and psychographics. What their needs are, what their motivations are, what makes them spend, like what motivates them in general, right? So you have to have a really good sense of who's your customer, so that you can make the product for them, so that you can market the product to them, because you know where they are, you know what sites they're on, you know what they're reading, right? And then of course, you're going to understand their spending patterns and their consumption patterns, so you will be able to also have a clearer financial picture once you have a deeper sense of who your target consumer is. So that's kind of what a business plan is. I mean, it's a document. People think that there is some template, some magic template with formats and indentations that is the right template to use, and they look for it online. And I see this like time and time again, and but the quality of the business plan is the words that are in it, right? It's not about the template, it's about, does what you write sound like a viable business, right? If I read it, am I going to say, this is not going to work, that's not going to work? And this happens all the time. I'm like, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, that's not going to work. It is not a good business plan, no matter what the template is, right? But if you show me a business plan that explains the product clearly, explains how big the target market is and who the target consumer is, and shows a good understanding of them. Shows me, who are your competitors, by the way. That's another important part of the business plan, is that who is your business's competitors, right? So it shows me the competitors you have, how you're different, how you will promote and sell your product, and how you will ultimately make money from it. Then it's like an amazing business plan. They're like, yeah, I understand that this is going to be a good business, and I understand that the person who wrote it is going to be a good entrepreneur, because they have a good idea what's going to happen. They get it. Whereas if your business plan is not solid, then I don't really care about the business plan. But I know that the business is not ready to start yet, because there's still some digging to do there. So that's what I kind of wanted to say about what is a business plan, like what I look in a business plan, and some mistakes that I covered that people typically make that you should avoid. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that was helpful and insightful. If it was, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube, and of course check out my business apps. They cover business ideas, business planning, marketing, and fundraising, and they're available on problemio.com, or if you search for Problemio in any of the app stores. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.